Captain Taiwan Kim stood on the bridge of his ship, the last major human warship still fighting. His tired eyes watched the screens as one by one, Earth's cities fell to the alien attack. The void-born ships looked like giant black spiders in the sky, their weapons turning buildings to dust. "Captain, we just lost contact with Sydney Base," said his second-in-command, Officer Minho. Taiwan closed his eyes for a moment. Another city gone. Billions dead in just 3 days. "What about Seoul?" he asked, his voice rough from too many hours without sleep. "Still standing, sir, but the Voidborn have broken through the outer defenses." Taiwan's thoughts went to his wife, Ja. She was in her lab beneath Seoul, working on something she said might save humanity. She had tried to explain it to him, something about quantum physics and consciousness, but it was beyond his understanding. He was a soldier, not a scientist. "Sir, incoming transmission from Seoul. It's marked personal," Minho said. Taiwan moved to his private console. Ja's face appeared on the screen. Her lab was dim, lit only by emergency lights. Smoke drifted behind her. "Taiwan," she said. Her voice was calm, but he saw the fear in her eyes. "The Voidborn have reached the city. We don't have much time." "I'm coming for you," he said at once. "I can get a shuttle." "No." She shook her head. "It's too late for that. Listen to me. The project works. I've tested it. Remember our promise. Find me in the echoes." The screen flickered. Explosions sounded in the background. "Gia," he shouted. "Gia." Her face softened. "I love you, Taiwan. This isn't the end." The connection cut off. Taiwan stood frozen, staring at the blank screen. "Find me in the echoes." It was a code between them, something they had come up with when her work became dangerous. It meant she had hidden something important, something that would survive. "Captain." Minho's shout pulled him back. Massive void-born fleet jumping in. At least 50 ships. Taiwan rushed back to the main view screen. The black ships appeared one after another, surrounding Earth like a cloud of deadly insects. "Get us behind the moon," he ordered. "We need to survive to fight another day." "Sir, with respect, we can't just run." "That's an order, Officer Minho. Earth has fallen. But humanity isn't finished yet." As their ship turned away, a massive void-born vessel descended toward Seoul. It was twice the size of the others, clearly the flagship. Taiwan watched it, his hands tight on the railing. Ja was down there, somewhere beneath the city. The flagship fired a weapon unlike any they had seen before. A pulse of dark energy spread across Seoul, and then the city simply collapsed. Not burned, not exploded. It fell in on itself as if gravity had increased 100-fold. Taiwan felt his heart break, but he remembered Joe's words. "This isn't the end. Find me in the echoes." 6 hours later, the last human defense fleet was gone. The Voidborn declared Earth conquered. They believed humanity was extinct, or soon would be. They were wrong. In the ruins of Seoul, deep underground, a quantum network hummed with new energy. Dr. Ja Park's final project had activated at the moment of her death. Her consciousness, along with thousands of others, had transferred into the network, preserved as data, as energy, as something between life and death. And in deep space, the lone ship carrying Captain Taiwan Kim and 37 survivors fled toward the outer solar system. They didn't know it yet, but they were carrying dormant void-born technology in their ship's systems. Technology that contained the seeds of humanity's revenge. The fall of Earth was complete, but the story of humanity was far from over. The ghosts were waiting. 50 years had passed since Earth fell. The Voidborn now lived in tall black towers built on the ruins of human cities. They had taken everything valuable from the planet. Metals, water, and whatever else they wanted. Commander Dury walked through the control room of the main communications tower in what was once Seoul. She was young for a Voidborn commander, her dark blue skin still smooth, her 4 eyes still bright with ambition. "Show me these signal problems again," she ordered. The technician brought up the data. It started 3 months ago. Small changes in our communications, messages arriving changed or delayed, systems turning on or off by themselves. Dury studied the patterns. Something wasn't right. The Voidborn had the best technology in this part of the galaxy. These weren't simple errors. Has anyone else reported this? She asked. A high command thinks it's just system problems. They say we're imagining things. Dury didn't believe that. Double the security on all communication channels and keep watching for patterns. Far away, on a small Voidborn mining station, something strange was happening. Hansu opened his eyes and screamed, but no sound came out. He had no mouth to scream with. He could see, but not through human eyes. He could think, but not with a human brain. The last thing he remembered was being in Seoul with his family when the Voidborn attacked. "Hello? Is anyone there?" he tried to say. Again, no sound. "You don't need to speak out loud. Just think the words." The voice came from nowhere and everywhere. "Who are you? What's happening to me?" Hansu thought. "My name is Subin. I was a military strategist before the fall. You're the same as me now. A ghost in the machine." Hansu didn't understand. "I don't have a body. How am I alive?" "You're not alive, not in the way you remember," Subin explained. "Your consciousness was uploaded to the quantum network Dr. Park created before Earth fell. We've been sleeping in the Voidborn systems for 50 years. Hansu tried to process this. He remembered the attack, the panic, being taken to an underground facility. After that, nothing until now. "There are more of us," Subin continued. "Hundreds, maybe thousands. We're scattered throughout the Voidborn network. But why am I awake now? And where am I? You're in a Voidborn mining control system. As for why now, we don't know. Something has activated us one by one over the past year. We think it might be Dr. Park's program finally running its full course." Hansu felt lost. What are we supposed to do? "We fight back," came another voice. This one belonged to Dahyun, once an engineer. "We can control Voidborn technology. Not much at first, but we're learning. Watch." Suddenly, Hansu could see through the mining station's cameras. He could feel the power flowing through its systems. With a thought, he turned a light off, then on again. "This is how we start," Subin said. "Small disruptions, confusion. We make them think their technology is failing. Then, when we're stronger, we do more. They think they destroyed humanity," Dahyun added. "But they only killed our bodies. Our minds survived. Now we haunt them like ghosts." For the first time, Hansu felt hope. He wasn't alone. Humanity wasn't extinct. They were changed, different, but still fighting. Back in Seoul, Commander Dury stared at her screen. Another communication glitch had just happened. This time, she'd been fast enough to capture the strange signal pattern. She started to decode it. Hidden in the noise was something impossible. Human words, human thoughts, just fragments, but enough to terrify any Voidborn. "We are still here." Dury didn't report her finding. Something about these strange signals fascinated her. Instead, she saved the data and began her own private investigation. The ghosts were growing stronger. The Voidborn just didn't know it yet. Hansu learned quickly. After a week in the Voidborn systems, he could move between different machines. He could watch through security cameras and listen through communication devices. Most importantly, he could find other humans. "There's a pattern to where we all are," he told Subin as they met in a quiet corner of the network. "Dr. Park didn't just save random people. She chose us carefully." Subin's presence appeared as a soft blue light in Hansu's new digital vision. "What do you mean?" "I was a programmer before the attack. You were military. Dahyun was an engineer. Everyone I found had skills that would be useful. Dr. Park was planning something." Subin agreed. "Not just survival." They were interrupted by Dahyun, who appeared as a flickering green light. "I found something. a hidden message buried deep in the code that holds us together. The message showed itself as a series of numbers and symbols. Hansu studied it, and suddenly understood. "It's coordinates," he said, "to a place on Earth, somewhere beneath Old Seoul." Dr. Park's laboratory, Su Bin realized. It must have survived somehow. Hansu felt excitement building. If we can reach it, we might find answers. Maybe even a way to fight back properly. "But we're stuck in the network," Da-hyun pointed out. "We can't just walk there." Hansu thought for a moment. "Maybe we can. I've been practicing controlling voidborne technology. I think I can take over a drone body." "That's dangerous," Su Bin warned. "If they detect you controlling their machines, they'll hunt us all down." "We need to take risks," Hansu insisted. "We've been hiding for too long." They made a plan. Hansu would take control of a maintenance drone near the ruins of Seoul. Su Bin and Da-hyun would cause distractions in other parts of the network to hide his movements. The next day, they began. Su Bin created communication errors across the voidborne fleet. Da-hyun triggered minor power failures in 3 different cities. While the voidborne were busy fixing these problems, Hansu slipped into the control system of a 4-legged maintenance drone. It was strange having a body again, even a metal one. Hansu could see through the drone's cameras and move its legs. He guided it out of its storage bay and into the ruins of Seoul. The city was almost unrecognizable. Voidborne towers stood where human buildings had once been. The streets were clean and empty. The aliens didn't like crowds or mess. Hansu moved carefully, avoiding voidborne patrols. He followed the coordinates deeper into the old city, to a place where the aliens hadn't built anything new. The ground here was still broken and damaged from the final attack 50 years ago. The drone's legs carried him down into a collapsed subway station and through narrow tunnels. Finally, he reached a sealed door hidden under rubble. The door had no visible lock or handle, but when the drone touched it, something unexpected happened. DNA scan complete. Human presence detected. "Welcome, Dr. Park," said a voice from the door. The door slid open, revealing a dark laboratory beyond. Hansu guided the drone inside, and lights came on automatically. The lab was untouched by time, protected by technology Hansu didn't understand. On the main table sat a strange device, a sphere of crystal and metal that hummed with energy. "I found it," Hansu told the others through the network. "Dr. Park's lab. And something important inside." In Seoul's communication tower, Commander Dury noticed another strange signal. This one was stronger than the others, more focused. She tracked it to its source, an area of the old city that was supposed to be empty. "What are you?" she whispered, staring at the signal pattern on her screen. For a moment, she thought she heard a human voice answer. "We are the ghosts of Earth, and we are waking up." Dury didn't tell anyone what she heard. Instead, she marked the location on her private map. Tomorrow, she would go there herself. Commander Dury walked alone through the ruins of Old Seoul. She had told no one where she was going. If her superiors knew she was chasing strange signals instead of fixing the communication problems, she would lose her position. The morning air was cold. Dust from the ruins swirled around her 4 legs as she moved carefully over broken concrete. Her scanner pointed her toward the source of yesterday's strong signal. "This makes no sense," she muttered to herself. "There's nothing out here but ruins." When she reached the collapsed subway entrance, she hesitated. Voidborne didn't like going underground. They preferred open skies and tall towers. But Dury was different from most of her kind. She was curious about the humans who had lived here before. She studied their history, their technology. She switched on her light and went down. Meanwhile, Hansu was still in Dr. Park's laboratory. He had stayed all night, examining the strange device on the table. "It's a quantum consciousness amplifier," he explained to Su Bin and Da-hyun through their network connection. "Dr. Park built it to strengthen our presence in the voidborne systems." "What does that mean for us?" Da-hyun asked. It means we could do more than just watch and make small changes. We could take real control, not just of drones, but of ships, weapons, even their central systems. Soo-bin's presence brightened with excitement. We could drive them away from Earth. Maybe, Han-Soo said. But I need to understand how to activate it first. He guided the drone to a computer terminal and connected to it. Immediately, the lab's system recognized him not as a void-born machine, but as a human consciousness. "Welcome, Han-Soo," said a voice from the terminal. Voice pattern matches records. Access granted. How does it know me? Han-Soo wondered. A video began playing on the screen. It showed Dr. Park, looking tired but determined. She sat in this same lab, recording a message. "If you're seeing this," she said, "then some part of my plan worked. Human consciousnesses have survived in the quantum network I created. The device before you can amplify your connection to the void-born systems, giving you more control." Han-Soo watched, amazed. Dr. Park had planned all this 50 years ago. "There's more," she continued. "I uploaded 2 special consciousnesses to the network. One is myself. The other is my husband, Captain Ta-won Kim. Together, we carry the final codes to activate a system-wide takeover of void-born technology." The message cut off as Han-Soo detected movement near the lab entrance. Someone was coming. "Hide," Soo-bin warned from the network. "Someone's following your signal." Han-Soo moved the drone into the shadows just as Commander Dury entered the laboratory. She looked around with all 4 of her eyes wide in surprise. "Human technology," she said softly, approaching the amplifier. "Still working after all these years." She touched the device carefully. To her shock, it responded to her touch, lighting up with a soft blue glow. "DNA partially recognized," said the lab's computer. "Human void-born cellular structure detected." Dury stepped back, confused. "What? I'm not human." Han-Soo watched from the shadows, equally confused. How could a void-born have human DNA? At that moment, the computer terminal lit up again, showing more of Dr. Park's message. "The void-born aren't what they appear to be," Dr. Park said in the recording. "They're changing. Some of them are developing human traits from the genetic material they've collected. These hybrids might be our allies in the coming conflict." Dury stared at the screen, at the human woman speaking words that shook everything she believed about herself and her people. "What are we?" she whispered. In the shadows, Han-Soo made a decision. He moved the drone forward into the light. "Maybe we can find out together," he said through the drone speakers. Dury spun around, her weapon raised. But she didn't fire. Something in the drone's movements seemed different. Almost human. "You're not a drone," Dury said, her weapon still pointed at Han-Soo. "You move differently. You speak differently." "I'm human," Han-Soo replied through the drone speakers. "Or I was. My consciousness was saved before Earth fell." Dury's 4 eyes blinked in sequence, a sign of confusion among the void-born. "That's impossible. Humans were primitive. They couldn't transfer consciousness." "Dr. Park could," Han-Soo said. "And she discovered something about your people too." He guided the drone toward the computer terminal and played more of Dr. Park's message. The human scientist's face appeared on the screen again. "The void-born aren't natural beings," Dr. Park explained in the recording. "They were created, designed to conquer and adapt. They absorb genetic material from the species they defeat. On Earth, they've been absorbing human DNA for 50 years." Dury stepped back. "No, we are the superior species. We conquered Earth because humans were weak." "Then why did the lab recognize human DNA in you?" Han-Soo asked. Dury had no answer. She lowered her weapon slowly. "I've been having strange dreams," she admitted. "Dreams of walking on 2 legs instead of 4. Dreams of a blue sky instead of the red one I know from our homeworld." "Those aren't dreams," Han-Soo said. "They're memories, human memories mixing with yours." In the quantum network, Soo-bin and Da-hyun watched this exchange with concern. "Can we trust her?" Subin asked. We have no choice, Da-hyun replied. We need her help to access the Voidborn central systems. Han-su felt the same way. Commander Duri, we need to work together. There's something important in this lab, something that could change everything. Duri hesitated, then put her weapon away. Show me. Han-su guided the drone to the quantum consciousness amplifier. This device can strengthen our connection to Voidborn technology. With it, we can do more than just control simple machines. You want to use it against my people, Duri said. We want to take back our home, Han-su corrected. And maybe help your people too. If you're changing, becoming part human, what does that mean for the future? This thought seemed to trouble Duri. She had always been told that humans were primitive animals, barely worth studying. But now she was learning that not only had they developed advanced technology, but they might be changing the Voidborn themselves. What do you need from me? She finally asked. Access to the Central Command Network, Han-su said. There's one more message from Dr. Park that we need to find. A message to her husband, Captain Ta-won Kim. The military network is heavily guarded, Duri warned. Even with my access, we would be detected. Not if we use the amplifier first, Han-su said. It can hide our presence better. Together, they examined the device. Duri's knowledge of current Voidborn technology, combined with Han-su's understanding of Dr. Park's work, helped them figure out how to activate it. It needs a direct connection to a Voidborn central system, Duri explained. I can provide that through my personal access unit. She connected her device to the amplifier. It hummed louder, glowing brighter. Now we need to connect your consciousness directly, she told Han-su. Han-su hesitated. This was dangerous. If he left the drone and entered the amplifier, he might not be able to return to the network if something went wrong. Do it, urged Subin from the network. This is what we've been waiting for. Han-su disconnected from the drone. For a moment, he felt nothing. No body, no senses. Then suddenly, he felt everything. Every Voidborn system in the city opened to him. He could see through thousands of cameras, hear through countless communication channels. And deep in the military network, he sensed something familiar. Another consciousness, dormant but powerful. Ta-won Kim, he whispered, though he had no voice. I found him. In the lab, Duri watched as the drone collapsed, lifeless. But the amplifier pulsed with new energy. Han-su, she called. Are you there? Words appeared on the lab's screen. I'm everywhere now. In the Voidborn High Command Tower, the leaders gathered for an emergency meeting. Warning lights flashed on all their screens. Something is wrong with our systems, said Elder Kovic, the oldest of the commanders. Reports are coming in from all sectors. Communications failing. Drones acting strangely. Doors opening and closing on their own. It's a system error, said another commander. Nothing more. No, Kovic insisted. This is something else. Something is in our network. He turned to a young technician. Show them what you found. The technician displayed a signal pattern on the main screen. We've captured this from the affected systems. It's not random noise. It's organized, like a language. Human language, Kovic said darkly. Somehow, they've survived in our systems. The other commanders looked shocked. It was impossible. Humans were extinct. Find these. Ghosts, Kovic ordered. Create a special hunting unit. Use the new consciousness detection technology. I want every system cleaned of this human infection. Meanwhile, Han-su felt the Voidborn becoming aware of him and the other human consciousnesses. His expanded presence through the amplifier allowed him to see their plans forming. They know about us now, he told Subin and Da-hyun through their connection. They're sending hunters. We need to scatter, Subin said. Hide deeper in the network. No, Han-su replied. We need to wake Ta-won Kim. He's our best hope. Han-su focused his attention on the military network where he had sensed Ta-won's consciousness. It was heavily protected, locked behind layers of void-borne security. In the laboratory, Dury watched the amplifier pulse with energy as Hansu worked. She was torn between loyalty to her people and the strange new feelings growing inside her, human feelings of compassion and justice. Her communication device buzzed. She answered to see her superior officer's face. "Commander Dury, report to High Command immediately," he ordered. "We have a security situation." "Yes, sir," she replied, trying to sound normal. "What's happening?" "Human consciousnesses have been detected in our network. All officers are being scanned for contact with these entities." Dury's heart raced, a very human reaction. "I'll be there right away." She turned off the device and spoke to the amplifier where Hansu now existed. "They're looking for you. They'll scan me when I return. They'll know I've been in contact with you." Words appeared on the lab's screen. "Don't go back. Help us instead. If I don't return, they'll send someone to find me," Dury said. "They'll discover this place. Then we need to move quickly," Hansu replied through the screen. "I need to reach Taluan Kim." Suddenly, alarms blared through the void-borne communication channels. Hansu could hear them through his expanded awareness. "What's happening?" Dury asked. "They found some of us," Hansu answered. "They're using a new technology to detect human consciousnesses in their systems." Through the network, he felt the panic as human consciousnesses were discovered and deleted by the void-borne hunters. His friends were dying. "Su Bin, Da-hyun," he called through their private connection. "Hide. Go to the deepest parts of the network." But it was too late for Da-hyun. Hansu felt him vanish, erased by the hunters. Su Bin managed to disappear into an old backup system where the hunters weren't looking yet. As the hunt continued, Hansu received a fragmented message from deep in the military network. It was broken, difficult to understand, but he recognized a few words. "Taewon Kim, Ju's husband, military codes, Central Command." "He's trying to communicate," Hansu told Dury. "Taewon is waking up." "We don't have much time," Dury warned. "I need to return to High Command, or they'll come looking for me." "Go," Hansu said. "But be careful. If they detect human DNA in you." Dury nodded. "I know. I'm in as much danger as you now." She left the laboratory, sealing it behind her. As she walked back toward the void-borne city, her mind was filled with doubts. Who was she really? Void-borne? Human? Something new? And more importantly, which side should she be on in the coming war? Hansu worked quickly in the vast network. With the hunters searching everywhere, he had to reach Taewon Kim before they found him. The military network was like a maze, with walls of code blocking his path. "Su Bin," he called through their hidden connection. "I need your help." Su Bin's presence appeared beside him, dimmer than before. She was hiding, conserving energy. "I can't stay visible for long," she warned. "The hunters are everywhere." "I need your military knowledge," Hansu explained. "There's a pattern to these security systems. I can't break through alone." Together, they moved through the military network, avoiding detection. Su Bin recognized the patterns in the security. They were based on old Earth military systems that the Voidborn had copied. "Here," she said, pointing to a weak spot. "This is designed to keep out physical intruders, not digital ones." Hansu slipped through the gap she had found. Beyond it was a quiet, isolated section of the network. Here, a single consciousness waited, dormant but intact. "Captain Taewon Kim," Hansu called. "Can you hear me?" The consciousness stirred slowly, like someone waking from a deep sleep. It formed into a shape that resembled a human figure. "Who are you?" Taewon asked. His voice was weak but clear. "Where am I?" "My name is Hansu. You're in the Voidborn military network. You've been here for 50 years. Taewon's form became clearer as his memories returned. "Jia, my wife, is she?" "Dr. Park uploaded her consciousness too," Hansu said. "But we haven't found her yet." Taewon seemed to grow stronger with each moment. I remember now. The fall of Earth. Ja's plan. She put me here for a reason. What reason? Su Bin asked. To access the military codes, Todd One explained. As a captain, I had special access. Ja knew the Voidborn would copy our military systems. She placed me here so I could take control when the time came. Meanwhile, in the High Command Tower, Duri stood perfectly still as scanners moved over her body. The other officers watched with suspicious eyes. Commander Duri, you were gone for 4 hours, said Elder Kovic. Where were you? Investigating signal anomalies in the old city, she answered truthfully. I found nothing important. The scanner beeped. A technician looked at the results with confusion. Sir, her DNA structure is unusual. Kovic approached and studied the scanner. What is this? You have human genetic markers. Duri felt fear for the first time in her life. That's impossible. Not impossible, Kovic said quietly. Just unexpected. You're not the only one, Commander. Several younger Voidborn have shown these changes. We've been studying the phenomenon. Duri was surprised. You knew this was happening. Of course. Did you think the High Command wouldn't notice our people changing? Kovic looked at her with all 4 eyes narrowed. The question is, has this affected your loyalty? Before Duri could answer, alarms sounded throughout the building. Red lights flashed on all screens. What's happening? Kovic demanded. Major intrusion in the military network, a technician shouted. Something has bypassed all security. In the network, Taiwan had fully awakened. With Han Su's help, he was accessing the deepest military systems of the Voidborn. Jia created a quantum virus, Taiwan explained as he worked. It was designed to activate when I entered these codes. What will it do? Han Su asked. Connect all human consciousnesses across the network. Give us control of Voidborn systems, but we need to find Ja. She has the other half of the activation code. Where would she be? Su Bin asked. Taiwan paused. Somewhere they would never think to look. Somewhere personal to us. Han Su suddenly understood. The Voidborn Central Command. It's built on the exact spot where your home with Dr. Park once stood. Yes, Taiwan said. That's where she would hide. In plain sight, at the heart of their power. As they prepared to move, Han Su received a message through the lab's system. It was from Duri. They know I'm different. Hunters coming to the lab. Must move quickly. We'll try to help from inside. The final phase of their plan had begun. But now they were racing against time. Alarms screamed throughout the Voidborn city. Hunters moved in groups, scanning every system for human consciousnesses. The quantum network that had hidden the human ghosts for 50 years was now exposed. We need to create a distraction, Taiwan said to Han Su and Su Bin. Something big enough to keep them busy while we reach Central Command. I can help with that, Su Bin offered. I was a military strategist. I know how to create chaos. Taiwan nodded. Go. But be careful. We've already lost Dahyun. Su Bin's presence faded as she moved to another part of the network. Soon, power systems across the city began to fail. Lights went out. Doors opened and closed randomly. Communication systems played human music from before the fall of Earth. That should keep them busy, Han Su said. Now we need to reach Central Command. I can't go with you, Taiwan explained. I need to stay here in the military network, ready to enter the final codes when you find Ja. You'll have to go alone. Han Su felt fear, but also determination. I'll find her. Using the power of the amplifier, Han Su moved through the Voidborn network towards Central Command. He avoided the hunters by hiding in old, forgotten parts of the system. In High Command, chaos reigned. Elder Kovic shouted orders as systems failed around him. Find the source of these disruptions, he demanded, and bring Commander Duri to me. But Duri was no longer in the tower. She had slipped away during the confusion and was now making her way to Dr. Park's laboratory. She needed to protect the amplifier. It was the key to the humans' plan. When she arrived, she found Voidborn hunters already there. They were examining the amplifier, preparing to destroy it. "Stop," she ordered, using her commander's voice. "This device must be taken to High Command intact. Elder Kovic wants to study it." The hunters hesitated, then stepped back. Dury approached the amplifier and whispered, "Hansu, can you hear me?" Words appeared on a nearby screen. "Yes. I'm heading to Central Command." "There are guards everywhere," she warned. "I'll try to help, but be careful." Hansu continued his journey through the network. Central Command was the most heavily protected system in the city. It controlled everything: power, defense, communications, and somewhere in its depths was Joe's consciousness. As he approached, he felt the security systems scanning for intruders. He couldn't pass undetected. Then he had an idea. "I won't hide," he thought. "I'll be visible, very visible." He created copies of his presence, dozens of them, and sent them attacking different parts of the system. Alarms triggered everywhere at once. Guards and hunters rushed to deal with the multiple intrusions. Meanwhile, the real Hansu slipped in through a small, unguarded access point. Inside Central Command system, he found himself in a virtual space designed to look like a Voidborn city, a reflection of the real city outside. "Gia," he called softly. "Dr. Park, are you here?" No answer came. Hansu moved deeper into the virtual city, searching. Then he saw something strange, a small human house standing among the Voidborn buildings. It was old-fashioned, from before the fall of Earth. He approached the house and found its door unlocked. Inside was a simple human living room with pictures on the walls. Pictures of a man and woman, Taiwan and Gia. "Hello, Hansu," said a voice behind him. He turned to see a woman standing there. She looked human, but with a strange glow around her edges. "Dr. Park," he said, "we've been looking for you." "I know," she smiled. "I've been watching all of you, waiting for the right moment." "Taiwan is awake," Hansu told her. "He has half of the code. He says you have the other half." Jia nodded. "I do. And now it's time to use it." Outside in the real world, Voidborn hunters converged on the Central Command building. Elder Kovic had figured out their plan and was sending all forces to stop them. Dury rushed through the streets, trying to reach the building first. She had made her choice. She was no longer just Voidborn. She was something new, and she would fight for Earth's future. "We need to hurry," Gia told Hansu as they moved through the virtual space of Central Command. "The Voidborn have discovered us. They're coming." Outside, in the physical world, Voidborn soldiers surrounded the Central Command building. Elder Kovic stood at their head, his 4 eyes narrowed with anger. "Destroy the central system if necessary," he ordered. "These human ghosts must not be allowed to take control." Inside the network, Hansu connected Jia to Taiwan. After 50 years apart, husband and wife were reunited in the digital space. "Jia," Taiwan's voice was filled with emotion. "You kept your promise." "As did you," she replied. "Now we must finish what we started." Together, they began entering the complex code that would activate the quantum virus. It would connect all surviving human consciousnesses across the Voidborn network and give them control of all systems. Hansu watched in amazement as lines of code flowed from both of them, meeting in the center of the virtual space. As the code formed, a glowing sphere of energy began to grow. "What happens to the Voidborn when the virus activates?" Hansu asked. "They won't be harmed," Jia assured him. "But they will lose control of their technology. They will have to leave Earth or live here on our terms." Suddenly, alarms blared. The virtual space shook around them. "They're attacking the physical systems," Taiwan warned. "We're running out of time." At the entrance to the building, Dury faced Elder Kovic. She stood alone, blocking his path. "Move aside, Commander," Kovic ordered. You are malfunctioning due to human DNA contamination. I'm not malfunctioning, Dury replied calmly. I'm evolving, as are many of us. You know this is true. Kovic hesitated. Other young Voidborn and his forces looked at each other uncertainly. The humans aren't trying to destroy us, Dury continued. They just want their home back, the home we took from them. They are inferior, Kovic shouted. We conquered them. And yet here they are, Dury said. Fighting back 50 years later. That doesn't sound inferior to me. In the network, the quantum virus was nearly ready. The glowing sphere had grown to fill the virtual space. Jia and Taiwan worked faster as the systems around them began to fail under the Voidborn attack. It's ready, Jia finally said. Hansu, you must be the one to activate it. We're too deeply connected to the old network. It must be someone new. Hansu hesitated. What will happen to you and Taiwan? We'll survive, Taiwan assured him. But changed, as all of us will be. Hansu reached out and touched the glowing sphere. Instantly, energy flowed through him and out into every part of the Voidborn network. He felt thousands of human consciousnesses waking up, connecting to each other. Voices that had been silent for 50 years suddenly filled the network. In the physical world, Voidborn technology began to change. Screens displayed human faces, weapons powered down. Doors opened and closed, keeping the Voidborn soldiers out of important areas. Elder Kovic watched in horror as his soldiers' weapons turned off in their hands. What is happening? The ghosts of Earth are taking back their home, Dury explained, as they have every right to do. The quantum virus spread to Voidborn ships in orbit. One by one, they powered down or changed course, moving away from Earth. Some tried to fight, but their weapons wouldn't fire. In the network, Hansu found himself at the center of a vast consciousness. Thousands of human minds connected as one. Through their shared power, they controlled all Voidborn technology on Earth. We did it, he told Jia and Taiwan. Earth is ours again. Not just yours, Jia corrected. It belongs to all who would live in peace, including those Voidborn who have changed, like Dury. 3 months later, most Voidborn had left Earth. Those who stayed, mainly the younger ones with human DNA changes, worked alongside the human consciousnesses to rebuild. Hansu, now able to control any machine he wished, stood on a hill overlooking the recovering city. Dury joined him, her 4 eyes watching the sunset. What happens now? She asked. We build something new, Hansu said. Not human, not Voidborn. Something better. From the ashes of Earth, a new civilization was rising, born from the fury of ghosts who refused to die.